Okay, my name is Barrett Michalek. This is our project. This is the dynamic team that we worked with. My personal story in terms of being interested in this was that through my own research, I had found that the hidden curriculum was being presented as a very negative element. And it was as though humanism was on this side and the hidden curriculum was over here, and they were competing for about the souls of medical students. And so I wanted to get involved in this project, and I worked with some very great people. Tina's here, and she's right over there, and then Fred's right over there. And so what we found through this review is that a majority of the research was still using kind of the fundamental definition of the hidden curriculum that was presented by Fred and his Hafferty and Franks back in 1994. And so that was still being utilized, which is great. However, that was a pretty non-negative, non-positive definition. Yet throughout the literature, hidden curriculum was being presented as this negative element that rids students of empathy, of compassion, of humanism, all these things. And so what we decided, what we actually ended up finding in terms of reform was that there were two elements, or two major themes through reform efforts. One was to increase the humanism of medical students and faculty, and that would be these new knights of humanism would then kind of vanquish the dragon that was the hidden curriculum. Or the other element was to deconstruct the aspects of the hidden curriculum within medical education, and that in turn would allow humanism to flourish. The issue we found was that through the first part, it was very individual part. So increasing humanism amongst faculty and students was very micro-based, very like, let's do it for these people, somebody to do it on. So the students themselves were very passive in that, same with the faculty. And with the second part, in terms of deconstructing the hidden curriculum, there really wasn't any suggestions on how to do that. There really wasn't any actual applied work out there that said we did this to deconstruct the hidden curriculum. Everything was due students or to faculty to allow them to do it to the hidden curriculum. So that was a big issue. So we came out with suggestions in terms of maybe not focusing so much on the individual micro-base of teaching humanism, but also focusing on the cultural and structural elements that actually enhances the hidden curriculum or teaches the hidden curriculum as well. Also, in terms of maybe not looking so much on students as passive, maybe looking at them as active learners and active participants. And finally, kind of going along with this particular picture, is that maybe the hidden curriculum isn't necessarily such a negative thing. Perhaps as a socializing agent, as a teacher, it counteracts or works with humanism in kind of creating that balance for students in terms of what we want and then what actually exists in reality for students. So in this particular picture that I used here, you can see, of course, negative aspects of hidden curriculum with that face, but also the question becomes, is the face being put on or is the face being taken off? And so the idea is, how can these things balance? And we need to start researching them as perhaps coexisting, and that's a benefit for students. So thank you.